Hi, it's Craig Mackay from Eastern Ontario, and we're with Louise Harris. And the presentation you did today on strategic change management had a scientific element that I found very valuable. Could you give us a little overview on that?
Certainly. One of the key things we talked about today was this whole concept of visual modeling and visual communication. And the fact that our brain processes visual communication quite differently to oral communication. In designing change, stakeholder engagement is often a challenge, both from getting people's time and from being able to clearly articulate what's changing, why it's changing, what are the impacts of those changes. And this is two-way communication between the stakeholders and the change leaders. So using the principles of visual cognition and the way that our brain works, the idea of developing one-page diagrams that explain the scope of change or explain the impact of change or enable stakeholders to express their perceptions of the change and putting it in a visual one-page format enables clarity of communication, more effective communication, and much faster comprehension, so speedier communication.
One of the templates, and there's 4 or 5 templates that you have that really help you walk through this process with your stakeholders. And one of them that really stuck with me was the value proposition, and how it's not just the value of the whole project, but it's also the value that each person and stakeholder group sees, and how you drill down on their fears and concerns through that value proposition to find the underlying areas that really you need to find before they erupt.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
Yes, exactly. So there's 2 key aspects of that. One is that people are much more motivated in their behavior if they understand how what they're doing impacts the goals of the organization and impacts their own goals and values. So by putting this kind of information in a diagram on one page, you can see the relationships. People can see those relationships so they can identify themselves, what's of value to themselves, and link that to what's of value to other people and what's of value to the organization. Also enables people to understand how their behavior and what they do impacts what other people do.
And I like the way you engage those stakeholders to think about the challenges from their own perspective for success.
Yes, yes.
Or failure.
Yes, so that's a big part of it is using a diagram to engage stakeholders, asking them what are their current challenges they hope will be addressed, what are their current needs, what are their concerns about what the solution might look like or how you might get there, and what are some of the new opportunities that they are expecting. And articulating this in a diagram forces people to be more succinct and to really think about what they're saying. So it's both valuable from an intel gathering point of view to understand everyone's perceptions. It's also a valuable process for stakeholders themselves to figure out what it is they're really thinking and expecting.
An excellent enterprise approach to the solution. Thank you.
Thank you.